Hi, Powers Ferry students. This is Miss Williams again, and I have Opie and Hazel here with me. And they've decided something that might make them feel better today is to read a book. And so you guys might remember when I would come to your classrooms, I would bring in a book and we would read it together and kind of think about things that the book was saying in our real life. And so that's what we're going to do today. And Opie and Hazel are with us. The reading kind of makes them sleepy, so they're just laying here with me. And we're going to read a book called Diary of a Worm. So a diary is something that you might write in when you're thinking about your day, you're journaling about what happened during your day, and so we get to find out what happens in a worm's day. Now, you might even want to write a diary right now about things that are going on while we're having to stay inside and journaling your thoughts and feelings. So this is a way to kind of get what's in your head out and on paper. And so let's see what the worm did throughout his day. Diary of a Worm by Doreen Cronin. Pictures by Harry Bliss. March 20th. Mom says there are 3 things I should always remember. The earth gives us everything we need. When we dig tunnels, we help take care of the earth. And he's saying, must make tunnel, help earth breathe. And then, never bother daddy when he's eating the newspapers. So you can see a diary always has the date up at the top. So we know what day that this worm wrote in it, and we can see things that were important to him that day. And these were 3 things that his mom always tells him. So in your diary, you might want to write 3 things that you remind yourself to do, 3 things that your parents always say are important to your family, or maybe you might write 3 things that you are important at school, like our pause behavior expectations. And you might think about how you've had a positive attitude, how you've worked hard and stayed safe while you've been at home. So we've seen what our worm has done. So let's find out what happens the next week. March 29th. Today, I tried to teach Spider how to dig. First of all, his legs got all stuck, and the spider says, I think I've twisted my ankles. Then he swallowed a bunch of dirt. I give up, says the worm. Tomorrow, he's going to teach me how to walk upside down. So first of all, we're catching this worm not having growth mindset because he's already giving up after one try of trying to teach the spider. But what we're also seeing is that during his day, he taught somebody something new and he's learning something new from someone else. So that's another option of what you could do while you're at home is try to learn some new things. You could learn online like we've been learning from school, or your brothers and sisters could even teach you something new. So let's find out what happened next. March 30th, it's the next day, just like he said. Worms cannot walk upside down. So he learned he didn't have legs like the spider did. And so walking upside down was going to be pretty difficult for him. But he tried something new. So maybe trying something new, a new food, a new PE dance, a new reading passage that your teacher sends you. You could journal about doing that at home. April 4th. Fishing season started today, so we all dug deeper. And so worms sometimes are used for bait to catch fish. And so when there was a time that something wasn't quite safe, you can see that the worms dug deeper. And that's kind of like what we're all doing in our homes. There's times that it isn't safe for other people to be out. And so we're all digging a little bit deeper, getting together with just our families. You can see, did you guys hear something? And the grandpa is all tucked away safely. So just like the worms in the earth, we're doing that right now, tucking ourselves away in our home safely. So you might want to write about how it feels to be tucked away for a little while. April 10th. So they've been down deep for over a week. It rained all night and the ground was soaked. We spent the entire day on the sidewalk. Hopscotch is a very dangerous game. And you can see that the worm's almost getting stepped on while somebody plays hopscotch. So this kind of reminds me that maybe you guys could play pretend at home. Maybe somebody could pretend to be a worm. Somebody could pretend to be a butterfly. And you could think about your day and journal about your day as a worm or a butterfly. April 15th. I forgot my lunch today. I got so hungry that I ate my homework. Now, I don't know about you, I've been having a lot of snacks, so that might be something easily for me to journal about in my diary. I could write down all the different things that I've had. And I know some of you guys are still new writers. And so if any of this sounds fun to you, or maybe your younger brothers or sisters, they want to have their own diary, they could draw pictures instead of writing things. And you could help them write the sentences if you're an older student. My teacher made me write, "I will not eat my homework," 10 times. When I finished, I ate that too. So you can see worms are very hungry. April 20th. I snuck up on some kids in the park today. They didn't hear me coming. I wiggled up right between them and they screamed. I love when they do that. So the worm was finding some other things that he could do while being a worm still. And so he tried to do some things that he always loved to do. So you might think, what were things that I loved to do before we had to stay home? And you try to do some of those things still, and you journal about them. May 1st. Grandpa taught us that good manners are very important. So today I said, "Good morning," to the first ant I saw, and he said, "Good morning" back. There were 600 more of them in line. "Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? Good morning. Nice to see ya. Howdy. Good morning." And he stood there all day. So there's a good time to practice your manners at home. And especially now that we've been in our homes for a couple weeks, sometimes those manners go out the window. We're not using them as much. And so this might be a good time to remind yourself of all the kind things that you liked to do before. And you're going to continue doing those with your family, like saying good morning to one another. Let's see what he did next. May 8th. Had the worst nightmare last night. Giant birds playing hopscotch. Mom says I have to stop eating so much garbage right before bed. So if some of you guys are having worries or like the worm, he had a nightmare, you could even journal those things. And sometimes it helps to get those things out of our head so they're not staying inside while we go to sleep or keeping us up all night from worry. So that could be something that you draw or journal about in your diary. May 15th. I got into a fight with a spider today. He told me you need legs to be cool. Then he ran and I couldn't keep up. Maybe he's right. May 16th. I made Spider laugh so hard he fell out of his tree. Who needs legs? So the worm at first thought, he's not really good enough. He's not cut out for this. And then the worm used his own talents and he was still part of the group. May 28th. Last night I went to a school dance. You put your head in, then you put your head out. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about. And that's all we could do because they don't have arms. Today, we made macaroni necklaces in art class on June 5th. I brought mine home and we ate them for dinner. You are very talented, the dad says. So maybe you try some new art projects and you journal about those in your diary while we're home. June 15th. My older sister thinks she's so pretty. I told her that no matter how much time she spends looking in the mirror, her face will always look just like that. Spider thought it was really funny. Mom did not. So maybe your brothers and sisters are starting to get on your nerves and you've been kind of locked up with them this whole time. And you could journal about that because many times our diary is something we keep just for us and we don't read to other people. And so you could get all those thoughts out, those negative thoughts out about your brothers and sisters. So then you could be nice to them when you see them in real life. July 4th. When I grow up, I want to be a Secret Service agent. That's somebody who protects people. Spider says I'll have to be very careful because the president might step on me by mistake. It's a dangerous job, I told him, but somebody's got to do it. So he started thinking about his career, his future career. And that's one thing that I miss talking to you guys about is your careers, your future jobs. So you could journal or diary. You could draw a picture of what you want to do for your future job. July 28th. 3 things I don't like about being a worm. I can't chew gum. I can't have a dog. See, he says, can we keep a mom? And all of that homework. So even worms have homework. So maybe there's been some things about this time that you haven't really liked. Maybe you don't like learning online. Maybe you miss your friends. And you're allowed to, in your diary, write those things down. July 28th. 3 good things about being a worm. I never have to go to the dentist. No cavities. I never get in trouble for tracking mud through the house. And I never have to take a bath. The mom says, who's that grubby little boy? So maybe there's some things that you don't like about staying home, but maybe there's some things you do. And so you could also write those things down. Like maybe you like sleeping in and not having to get up so early. Maybe you like not having to pick out clothes each day for school. And you can write all those things down. August 1st. It's not always easy being a worm. We're very small, and sometimes people forget that we're even here. But like Mom always says, the earth never forgets we're here. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to end with that is because some of you guys might be thinking that your teachers or your friends or your counselors have forgotten you during this time. We've spent so much time away from each other now. And I want to let you know that I look through the names every day of the students that I worked with at Powers Ferry, and I think about you every day. And so you are not forgotten, just like the earth never forgets our worms. And so if you want to, in your last diary entry, you could write me a note because sometimes counselors or teachers feel like they're forgotten during this time too. So you could write me or your teacher a note. So Opie, what did you think about that book? Did you like it and have a good time? Oh, good. He did. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. And they might be in a little more talkative mood later this week. Stay tuned on our YouTube channel.